Hiya. Pretty girl. Hello everyone, it is Monday, July 16th, and today I am getting through more of my reading for the Biannual Bibliothon. If you guys have seen my challenge video during the Biannual Bibliothon, it was day 5 of the entire Bibliothon. Basically, I did a vlog that covered the first few days of the readathon, where I was reading and finishing The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw, which is somewhere in my laptop bag. I can't really reach it at the moment. But I did finish that earlier today because I left the vlog basically where it was last night, and I hadn't finished it yet, but I had like 100 pages left. So I've already finished that. I ended up rating it a 4.5 out of 5 stars because it was absolutely wonderful. I really, really loved it. But I felt like I was spending a lot of the time reading it, picking out things that were similar to the movies Practical Magic and Hocus Pocus, because it was basically a mashup of those two stories and had a lot of elements that were similar to it, and actually like a lot of scenes were very synonymous with Practical Magic in terms of the romance that was involved with it. Some things that were very, very different, obviously. It's its own story, but it had a lot of inspiration from those two things. So I finished that and I really enjoyed it. And then it was also like a little fast-paced sometimes. I kind of wish it was a little longer because I would have liked to have seen some scenes expanded a little bit more, and some things not as rushed. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I honestly enjoyed it, I think, a lot more than I had anticipated, and I actually did cry a couple of times reading it, or at least tearing up, and there were some really, really great parts, I think, that were very heartbreaking considering the backstory of the curse, basically, and with one of the sisters specifically that was part of the curse. So right now I just got to page 45 of Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco, and I'm liking it so far. Like, I really, really am liking it. I really already love Audrey. I think she is a very, very headstrong character that I'm enjoying a lot. And something I didn't realize is that this book is littered with pictures and diagrams and stuff from like the past, like the very first chapter, at least in this edition of it. I don't know if it's in several other editions, like the paperback when it comes out or anything, but the first chapter has a picture of somebody, like a forensic scientist of some kind, getting ready to make the first cut when it comes to an autopsy, and they're all annotated with like the source material, stuff like that. And I thought that's really cool because it shows that Kerri's done a lot of research involving not only the time period in terms of Jack the Ripper's case, but the time period in terms of like the medical knowledge and the things that kind of were around, you know, like different textbooks or things like that were looked at during this time period. So I really, really appreciate that from a historical standpoint. I think that that's incredibly important to help with establishing this time period and making things a little bit more realistic in a sense, to where it really feels like this is in 1888. 1888 is kind of when Jack the Ripper was really starting to make his rise, and basically this story is looking at kind of the beginning of Jack the Ripper's terror, basically, in London. So there's already been one murder. It was basically, that was established at the very beginning, like chapter 2 of the book, basically. And yeah, so according to Goodreads, I'm already like 13% of the way through the book. Like, it's going to be a fast read. It's not super long. It's like 320 some pages. So I think today I may be able to get through it depending on how fast I can read it, because I've gotten everything I need to get done today done already, at least that I can get done here. I have I did my online this morning. I finished The Wicked Deep. I uploaded my 3rd challenge video for the day, and then edited my 4th challenge video for tomorrow. So all that's done. So all I gotta do when I get home is record my Tag Tuesday video and my Top 5 Wednesday video, get those transferred, send over a couple other clips from my phone for the vlog and for a couple other videos I was doing off of my phone. and get those transferred over, and then basically spend the rest of the day reading, hopefully finishing Stalking Jack the Ripper at some point tonight, and then at least getting started with the first book in the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, Shadow and Bone, because I'm supposed to have that done today, but I'm a little behind schedule because I didn't find as much time the first couple of days of the Bibliothon to read, because we have as you guys may know, we have a new puppy. If you've been watching my vlogs recently, we got a new puppy last weekend, and so it's been kind of stressful trying to get used to taking care of her and watching her, because a lot of times she likes to roam around the house, and so I have to, like, especially if she comes out towards the living room, I have to look after her and pay attention, because if she tries to pee everywhere, I gotta run her outside. So there's kind of just a lot of things going on that makes it a little bit harder to sit and binge read for a while, which is why I'm glad that I'm here now, able to just sit and read for a good long while for the day. So I'm pretty happy. I am gonna, though, right now get the little girl I babysit to sit and read for about 20 minutes today. Then I'm gonna come back and read more of Stalking Jack the Ripper, basically until I go home for the day, and then do whatever the other stuff that I need to do. Hey guys, so it is currently about 8:18 in the evening, and as you guys can tell, I have my lights on and stuff to do some filming. I'm going to be filming like the videos I talked about earlier today, because I need to get them done at least before the end of the night. Since I last talked to you guys, I read another 46 pages of Stalking Jack the Ripper before I left the house, and then I did read a little bit more just a little while ago before dinner, but I don't really know the page number off the top of my head, and I'm not too worried about it at the moment, because I'm not really in a place where I would honestly, like, say I'm okay with stopping. Honestly, I'm gonna take the rest of the night tonight to finish Stalking Jack the Ripper, because I need to get it done, and then I think tomorrow is going to focus on getting through Shadow and Bone, and then the next book that I have, which is The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Amber Shares. I'm not doing awful with my reading progress. I'm just really behind. I'm like a day behind, basically. Tomorrow I'll be like still a day behind. So I think that's my goal, is to get these 2 videos done, then read the rest of Stalking Jack the Ripper tonight, because I have nothing else to do after I'm done with those videos. And tomorrow when I get to the house I babysit at, the little girl has activities starting at 9 until 2:30, so I will be coming back to the house, where I will be more than likely getting stuff done. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow morning before she heads off is get my online done and get the challenge video for tomorrow uploaded, and then maybe start editing the other one. I don't quite know. It depends on you know, how quick it's gonna be. I think it's gonna take a little while, because I have to edit all the footage from the vlog, because that day is the bookish vlog challenge, so I have to probably take some time when I get home to do it then, and then spend the rest of the day working on Shadow and Bone. Probably by the time I get back to the house, still working through that a little bit, getting the little girl to do her reading for the day, and then working to start at least The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Now, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is fairly small. I mean, compared to, it basically looks about the size of the rest of the books I've been reading so far this readathon. So I probably could get through a good chunk of it tomorrow if I really, really bust my butt to do it. But I need to get some stuff done right now so that I can have just some stuff done. And I have a wild hair deciding that it wants to not cooperate, apparently, because my hair is still drying, kind of. It's not as damp as it was earlier, but I'm still trying to train my hair with this look. Watermelon! Do you watermelon? Do you eat it? I wish you from my heart. Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, July 17th, currently about 10:20 in the evening, and I just finished Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the second book that I've been working on for the biannual Bibliothon, and I'm like 3 books behind on my reading schedule, but tomorrow I plan on getting through a lot. Even though I have a lot of video stuff to work on, I haven't even had a chance today to edit any of my stuff that I needed to have done today, so I think tomorrow morning is going to be a lot of me doing video stuff and then spending much of the rest of the day trying to get through 4 books, basically. I don't know how that's going to work. I think that I'm going to end up not exactly failing the biannual Bibliothon, but I do not think I'm going to get through all of the books I had planned for the biannual Bibliothon, and I may try to finish them at least, though, before the end of the month. Otherwise, I will carry them over into August. But I did finish my second book, and holy crap, Stalking Jack the Ripper is a book that I did not expect to love as much as I did. I went into this book, you know, really interested because it's historical fiction based. It deals with a character who is essentially, for her time, like, going against all kinds of social norms and societal rules by being a woman studying forensic science, basically the beginnings of true forensic science when it comes to crime fighting and things of that nature. And I just thought I was going to really enjoy the book, you know, for what it is, but not really have any super strong feelings for it. But oh my God, am I in love with this story. I loved this book so much. I loved this book. How many times can I say that? I really loved Audrey Rose as a main character. I thought that starting off she was incredibly strong-minded and strong-willed, but you see throughout a lot of the novel how insecure she is about a lot of things, especially in the way that people kind of talk about her, because she goes against typical societal norms for a young woman at her age, about 17-ish. And I just think that she's so amazing because she is the kind of woman that young woman that I would want to associate myself with, because she's incredibly smart, she is witty, she's sarcastic, and she also has true feelings. Like, she's not just a complete robot, or she's not as stiff as a corpse, if pardon the pun, basically, within this book. So all in all, I ended up giving Stalking Jack the Ripper a 5 out of 5 stars. I will be going into a more in-depth review after the Biannual Bibliothon. I'll basically be recording videos of all the books that I will have read over the course of this week.
They're noisy, I know. No. I know, they're so noisy. Huh? You want me to put it away? Yeah? Oh, sakes. What? Are you sassing me? Are you sure? Kaya, is that for reals? Yeah. Oh, you just thought it was going to get your bone, is that right? Did you think it was going to get your bone? Is it me no bag? Or just because it makes noise? What? Yeah. Well, what if I go? What if? Do I? No, don't chew on the floor. I know it. I know.
Hi.
Is Gab laughing at you too? Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Hi.
Hi, honey.
Hey guys, it is Wednesday. It is currently 5:45 in the evening, and I've been home for over almost 2 hours actually, because I got out of work early today. But I helped my parents with packing up the car as they and my younger sister are going off to a softball tournament, and they also took the puppy with them because there's a little bit too much going on for me this week to where I can fully stay home and take care of her. And luckily they were able to find a pet-friendly hotel where they are going for this tournament, so they were able to take Kaya. Then also, this is Tori's last tournament for the summer, and actually her last tournament with travel ball completely, because in the fall she goes to play college ball, which is a huge thing. So this weekend is really important for her just because it's her last time doing travel and all that stuff, and my parents just pulled out of the driveway. So yeah, so I have the house to myself for pretty much the entirety of the weekend for the most part. And Friday, like I said, I'm going to Warped Tour, so I'm not even going to be home. So having the puppy here with me was not going to be a good idea, considering I'm not going to really be home a lot, since tomorrow I also work for most of the day, and Saturday I just don't know what's going on, like the rest of the weekend. But I got all the work I needed to get done today. Unfortunately, my 5th challenge video for the Biannual Bibliothon did not work out as planned. Basically, I had some technical difficulties with moving files from my phone to my laptop, and then I tried to edit it on iMovie on my phone, and I didn't have enough storage, and then basically what I thought was going to work didn't. I thought that because I had already edited everything in iMovie that the files would be saved on there of all the clips, and I deleted everything to make more storage in my phone. And that did not happen, and the video was not able to even work. So I had to quickly film and upload a very short vlog, just kind of updating everything with the week and how things were going. Since it was the Bookish Vlog Challenge, so it was pretty freaking easy, I would say, but still really sucked because my original vlog had some really cool stuff involved with it, as I had basically used it to document my time reading the group book, The Wicked Deep, which took about 3 days because honestly this week has not been the best for me as you guys can tell when it comes to keeping up with my reading challenges. But because everything else is done for the day, all my stuff is edited, stuff that is uploaded today. All I really had to edit other than my Tag Tuesday and Top 5 Wednesday video was my challenge video for tomorrow, which is the Spine Poetry Challenge, and I'm very excited to show that. So all that I really need to do now is sit and read the entirety of Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Now, tonight, I don't know whether I'm going to a Roberts tonight or he's coming here. I really have no clue what is going to happen just because I don't know whether or not he is working overtime tonight. So it all kind of depends. But basically my evening is going to be to myself reading this book because I just started it. I'm only a few pages in at this point because I was trying to read in between, breaks of stuff, but that didn't end up happening. So that will basically be my evening today, is doing that and just kind of sitting at home and relaxing. I'm going to take care of my other dog, Daisy May, and then my lizard, Leo, at some point today. But Leo, we usually wait until we go to bed. So depending on what the plan is for me and Robert, before I leave, I will either feed him then or I will feed him before I go to bed tonight. And if Robert comes and stays the night here. Either way, though, probably around 8 or so, I'll take a break from reading and go feed Daisy, because that's usually the time we'll feed her and stuff like that. But without further ado, I'm going to go sit and read some of Shadow and Bone for a couple of hours. Probably eat something, too. I'm not, starving, but Tori gave me some peanut M&Ms that she got from work, so I'm gonna eat some of those and sit and relax for a little while I read my next book. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I'm hoping so, but we'll see. Hey guys, so it is a couple of hours later and it's about almost 7:45 in the evening. I'm going to go outside and take care of my dog so that I don't forget because I'm in a good spot, I think, to take a break from reading. I am on page 88 now of Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I'm actually flying through this book, I think, a lot faster than I had anticipated because it's only been a couple of hours and I'm already almost 100 pages in. It's quite astounding and I'm actually really enjoying it so far. I really am liking kind of the direction it's going because right from the get-go, basically the second chapter, the second full chapter, basically, there's a lot of action, there is an attack that happens, and it basically starts off the plot from there, as the main character essentially realizes she has an ability that she never knew she had, and therefore is now this really, really important person within this world, and could possibly end up saving the world if she is able to be trained on her power. So it's really interesting so far. I'm liking it. I know that this series, though, recently especially, there's been a lot of discussion about the Darkling, and kind of how he's really bad. A lot of people say he's morally gray, but a lot of people also say he's really manipulative and he's really he's just a really bad dude. I have not seen much of him as of yet. The most I've really seen of him is he saves Alina, the main character's life, when they are attacked by one of the other kingdoms that are basically trying to kill off everyone that is in Ravka, but that's basically all I've seen of him, and he kind of talks to her a little bit about his past and why he how old he is and his family, and how one of his great grandfathers had basically created this rift in their world that was nothing but darkness, and so all kinds of stuff like that, kind of just some expository information, really. So I haven't really seen anything as of yet about how much of an a-hole he is or anything. I don't think that you typically see that stuff until like the second book, or at least much further into the first one. I'm interested to see though how that is, like how he is a-hole, because I did see a lot of people talking kind of both sides of him being more so morally gray, and a lot of people saying he's just a bad dude in general and should not be romanticized in any way. I'm interested to see what I think of him myself once I get through more of this book. Hey guys, it is about almost 9:35 in the evening, and I'm calling it here with my reading. I'm getting very unfocused, I'm tired, and all I really want to do is just take a shower and like put on a face mask or something, I don't even quite know, and just kind of get curled up into bed. I'm just really getting tired, maybe, I don't know, I'm just all kinds of confused because my brain is tired. But what I will say is I've gotten to page 133 in Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I am really enjoying it so far. I'm probably not quite halfway through it. I think I'm like maybe 40% of the way through the book, and I really, really like it a lot, but I don't feel like it's a 5-star yet. I mean, it hasn't like wowed me out of the park, but I really enjoy it. Like, it's at a 4-star right now. I'm not finding any major problems with it, except I just don't, I don't feel like it's worth 5 stars. I think it's a really great beginning to a series. It's definitely intriguing. I'm loving learning about the world and the politics within it. But for some reason, just at the moment that I'm at with this book, I'm not, like completely blown away by it like I was with Stalking Jack the Ripper. But that may come with time, that may come with more things that, happen. I will say, like, the first, 50 pages of this book did blow my mind, because there was a very intense scene right away, like, within the first, 50 pages of the book, and so I was a little I was a little caught off guard with it, basically, and I just didn't expect it, but it was a really good way to start off the book, I would say. Nothing better than starting off a book with some death and monsters, so that's pretty good, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think that, maybe if I'm feeling up to it, I may read a little bit more, maybe like another chapter before I go to sleep. Just depends. I haven't heard from Robert at all about whether or not he's coming here or I'm going there. But hopefully in the next, he's supposed to get out at 11, so he's got a little bit less than an hour and a half left of work. So I'm hoping that he doesn't have to work overtime tonight, but if he does, it's not a big deal. Hello everyone, it is Thursday, currently just after 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've gotten pretty much all the work I need to get done. The only other thing I need to do is record my vocal cover, which I will do when I get back home this evening after finishing up babysitting. But, yeah, so the little one has her last activity today before she heads off to Colorado. She leaves tonight, so I am officially going to be done with babysitting for, just under 2 weeks after today. But right now what I'm going to do is, because I've got quite a bit of time and pretty much all I'm going to do is sit and read for the rest of the day other than record that video, is read more of Shadow and Bone. So the plan is to finish this book up and then maybe see if I can get through some of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants today. I don't know if I will, but we shall see how it goes. And tomorrow I am going off to Warp Tour. So tonight I think I'm going to go stay the night at Robert's, because he didn't end up coming over last night. And I was going to go over to his house instead, but I came down with a really bad headache before I went to bed, so I was really not feeling well enough to drive, and so I'm going to go stay with him tonight, and then early tomorrow I'm going to have to leave. I'm going to talk to my friend Teresa at some point today, though, because we're trying to figure out what it is that's happening, whether I'm going to her first, or if we're going to meet at the venue, or whatever's going on. So, basically, I'm waiting on a call from her about that today, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to head out either to her house or the venue or something like that. The doors don't open until 11, but I kind of want to get there earlier, because I know that there's going to be a huge line, but I don't really know. It's going to depend on what they want to do, so I have no clue as to whether or not we're going to get there early, or if we're going to get there right before the doors open, or what's going on. It's a whole new venue for me too, so I don't even know where we're supposed to go, because the typical venue for Warp Tour when it came to Detroit was that it was at the Palace in Auburn Hills, but they've closed that down, and so they've moved it over to somewhere near Oakland University. It's like Meadowbrook Amphitheater Hall, I think. So I have no idea what's going to happen. Apparently, though, I was hearing that they ended up selling out tickets and then even actually oversold tickets. So they had a bit of a TanaCon situation is what I was hearing. And I don't know if that's going to work out. I don't even know how big this area is, like if it's going to be able to hold like all these stages or whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of worried because I don't want this to end up becoming TanaCon and it being like a huge deal. So we're going to hope and pray that the last Warped Tour does not end up like that. But currently I have my final challenge video rendering. I put up my spine poetry video today, and that's just been all kinds of cool stuff to film and edit. This last challenge video is the Bookish Etsy shop video, which you guys will have seen already by the time this video goes out. But I created a torch against I created a bookmark inspired by A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, the second book in the Ember and the Ashes series. And it was a quote that when I read it in the book while I was reading it, I really, really loved it. I thought the quote was great. And so I was like, that would be perfect to put on a bookmark. And that was more so for me to like make later because I like to make bookmarks sometimes for myself, just so I have a few on hand in case I run out. But when I realized that I could do that for this challenge, I was like, this is perfect. I can make this super quick. It's like a 4.5-minute video, so it's not that long. It's sped up, so I thought it turned out really well. The entire lettering was freehanded. I used no lines, no ruling, no anything. I just did it completely freehand, and basically it's what I got. And it doesn't look too bad, I would say. I kind of wanted to do something a little different because I'm not super artsy. I'm not super creative in that kind of way, so I don't know, I thought it turned out well. I've just reached about page 242 in this book, and now I completely understand why everyone hates the Darkling. He's basically Hans from Frozen in this entire story, and it makes me very, very angry. Hello all, it is currently like just after 3:35 in the afternoon, and I've just gotten home back from babysitting. So I ended up getting home very, very early today like I did yesterday, because the mom got home very early today. So yeah, I'm home. Right now, I have about 50 pages left of Shadow and Bone. Between the time I talked to you guys last and now, I read another 67 pages of it. So this will be done tonight, which I will be really excited about. And then I will at least get a good start with The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Amber Shares. I brought this with me in case, you know, I ended up finishing Shadow and Bone while I was at the house, but I didn't end up being there for more really than an hour. So this one, though, is really, really short, so I may end up finishing it a little later tonight, earlier than I had anticipated. So this is 326 pages, which is about the size of Stalking Jack the Ripper, but this one's fairly short. The text, I mean, it's not like overtly large, and the pages, the book itself is very small in size, so I may be able to get through this all in one night tonight if I get started on it soon, like almost immediately after I get done with Shadow and Bone. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish Shadow and Bone, record my video, have it start transferring, and write my notes for Shadow of Bone for the review so that it's done and I have it prepared for when I actually get to do reviews. Then get started on The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Probably by then it'll be around 5 o'clock or so, maybe about 5:30. I'm going to sit here and finish off Shadow and Bone. I've really, really enjoyed reading this one. I think it's a lot better than I had anticipated, but I don't know. It's not quite a 5-star for me. There's something about it that I don't know. I can't really wrap my head around giving it a 5-star. I don't think it's exactly that great, but I really do enjoy the book itself. I will admit that I've come close to crying a couple of times, mostly with the two romances that play within this story because of reasons, but one of them I'm very, very, very angry with because of what's been revealed about him. But I don't know. I've almost cried a couple times, but I don't know if it's exactly worth a 5-star. I don't know. I've got like 50 pages left though, so I'll see if my mind changes, but we shall see, and I will talk to all of you guys once I have finished it and give you some very brief final thoughts on it before I write my full notes on my laptop. Okay guys, I just finished the last 47 pages of Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Wow, that ending was really not what I had expected. I mean, there was something I kind of expected considering this is a trilogy, but I did not expect it to go in the way that it did, if that makes sense. So I think my overall feeling of this is, I'm gonna say it's a 4 out of 5 stars at the moment. I may sit on it a little while longer because I really don't know. I truly enjoyed this book. There were so many parts of it within the romantic interests that made me tear up, because I thought that a lot of the relationship building was really, really beautiful. I really loved the world building of the story. I loved the writing style. I loved Alina as a character. I thought she grew a lot throughout this story. I just, for some strange reason, can't give it a 5 stars. I feel weird giving it a 5 stars for some reason. I don't know, but pretty much everything about this was really, really good, and I was surprised. I think maybe my biggest thing is that I just really dislike the Darkling. I don't like how he's such an asshole, and I guess that's really my only complaint. So, I don't know. I'll sit on it a little more tonight, and I'll make my final decision by the end of the day, probably, and write my notes for it. Maybe as I'm writing my notes, it'll come to me whether or not this is a 5 star. I don't know. Just something about it. I can't quite give it a 5 star. And I don't really even know as to why, because I loved this book so much. I really, truly thought it was fantastic. A great start to a series, and just really, really well done. I was really thoroughly impressed with it. So I don't know. I'm all kinds of not sure what to do with it. But, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and record my cover video, write the notes for this video, or for this book, and then start the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. It's currently 4:35 in the afternoon, so I'm really honestly willing to bet that I can finish the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants tonight if I just sit and do nothing but read, which is what I was planning on anyway, until it gets closer to the time I would head to Roberts. Okay guys, it is currently 6:34 in the evening. I've read just over 50 pages of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and I like it so far. It's very cute. Very much a 2000s contemporary though. There's a lot of like things that remind me of the 2000s, like the fact that they are using like CDs to listen to music, because pretty much at the time this book was released, the idea of iPhones was not like a thing. iPods were barely a thing back then, but yeah, so I'm enjoying it so far. It's just a contemporary. It's very different from coming out of a fantasy, so that's kind of been a whirlwind to try to wrap my head around. I decided to take a little bit of a break, make myself something to eat, because I am hungry. I think I'm going to basically heat up the other warm, like, steam lunch that I have, basically, that you guys have seen before, and eat that. And I think I'm just going to take a break for a little while from reading, just to kind of, like, simmer, because I'm getting a little unfocused right now because I'm tired, and it's been a long day, and I'm kind of nervous about tomorrow because I have to drive there all the way. I'm a little nervous about tomorrow, too, so there's lots of going through my mind, because it's the first time I'm going to Warped Tour on my own. I'm not going with my mom. I'm not going with Robert. I don't do well with new places and not knowing the driving patterns. Like, I'm very, very scared to drive through new places that I don't know, because I don't know the traffic. I don't know how things are. So I'm a little nervous because of it. I have to pack a bag to have stuff with me. So I need like sunscreen and my wallet and, you know, stuff like that. I need to charge, make sure my phone's charged overnight and all that good stuff. So it's all kinds of strange for me. I'm a little nervous, but I think I should be fine. Jeez, oh pizza, didn't realize it had this much glitter. I'm gonna be a walking disco ball after this. But, here we go. Pay no mind to my rusted tub. We have hard water here, so. Ooh! Look at all that glitter! Oh my god! This is so cute. So this is more kind of a bath fizzy. It's just going to turn the water all, like, blue. But this is, if you didn't see the label, this is peach and peppermint. I'm a huge fan of the peppermint myself, but I'm interested to see how the peach works. But this looks really freaking cool. I got this for... Oh, actually smell it now. It smells really good. But I actually got this at, I think, Hot Topic. It was like $3. And normally, like, their bath stuff, like, they usually have it on sale. I think I actually got this, like, in a huge haul of stuff that I got on sale at Hot Topic. So it's turning this really pretty, like, almost, like, lighter emerald green color. You guys can kind of see. This is all, like, hard water stuff because I live in the country, so we have, like, really bad hard water. But, yeah. I don't think there's any prizes in this one, but they usually have ones that have prizes in them. I don't know about this one, but this is fairly dangerous for my phone, so I'm going to put it away now and enjoy my bath. I also forgot to mention that bath bomb's name is called Mermazing, like as in mermaid. So I've just gotten done with the bath that I took, mostly just for relaxation since I've been pampering myself tonight. All that I did while I pampered myself was I used a whitening strip for my teeth, I did a face mask, basically did a full facial for myself, and then I shaved my legs and used a really nice lotion after I got out of the bath. That bath bomb, just so you guys know, like it wasn't super scenty, like it wasn't as scentful as I had thought it was going to be. It was at first, like when it was fizzing and stuff, but pretty much after that it stopped making scent, or my nose just stopped working basically. That happens a lot in the summer, is with all the heat and allergies and pollen and stuff, you know, it tends to not work half the time. So pretty much the rest of the night is going to be dedicated to me reading more of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I read a little bit more while I was in the bath until the water started to get a little bit colder. Hello everyone, please excuse the pulled back hair with the headband. I'm still getting used to that with the shorter hair. But currently what I'm doing is I am getting ready to go to Warped Tour. So I'm doing my makeup right now. I'm not doing a whole heck of a lot, just basically my basic face stuff except no contour or blush, and then some eyeliner, mascara, and some lipstick, because I actually want to look nice for the first time, because I typically don't, because it's hot and it's sweaty and gross, but actually today's supposed to be really, really nice out, so I'm not too worried about it. Plus, this monstrosity came in last night. It's actually been popped, basically, but it kind of is just bothering me, so I want to cover it up. So what the plan is then also for right now is I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the reading I did last night. I did not end up finishing Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but I made a lot of progress with it. I'm currently I read an additional 120 some pages. I'm basically at like page 172, 173, something like that. So I did a lot of progress with it. I was really impressed with myself. But today, because I'm getting ready early, I'm going to be able to get to the venue a little early before even my friends get there. So I will have a little bit of time to read outside before we go inside, and I'll have my book with me just in case there is some time between sets and I want to be able to sit down in the shade, because even though it's only going to be like 84 degrees out, I don't know how sunny it's going to be, so I may need to take in some shade. I know out here it's supposed to possibly storm, so I hope that it holds off in Rochester Hills and that does not happen, because that would really suck, because I have no idea where we would even be placed if that was to happen. I'll take you guys a little bit through my makeup routine. It's not really typical because I'm not doing contour or blush, but everything else is fairly the same. So I use two different kinds of primer. I use the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. My skin's typically now during the summer like a lot more supple. For some reason my skin hasn't really broken out much since I left college, so that's a plus. And then I also use it with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. This stuff is great. I love this stuff a lot. Basically, it helps to keep my skin really nice and dewy and supple, because I hate when my skin is super dry. It makes my stuff look super cakey. And this kind of helps my skin from being too dehydrated to where it makes my makeup cakey. But I'm pretty sure it's going to all be washed off with sweat or water at some point. But I really don't care, honestly. I just want to look good. So there's that. So then I have two different concealers that I use for two different things. The first one that I use is the NYX HD Photogenic Studio Concealer in green. Basically, it's a color corrector because I have some red spots on my cheeks that I do not really particularly care for, especially that big spot on my forehead. This kind of helps to counteract any redness in my skin. I'm going to use my camera to do this because this is going to be the easiest thing for me, and I pretty much know where all my red spots are. Usually it's on my cheeks and my nose and a little bit on my chin, and then basically we just kind of go go from there. So I'm going to get this spot here. So after I do my green concealer to try to counteract any redness in my face, I then use my foundation. This is not the foundation I typically use because the one that I did use a lot, I can't really get. I don't remember the formula I had. So I decided to get something a little different. This is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in shade 105, which is Fair Ivory, because as y'all know, I am as pale as a freaking ghost. I've used this a couple times before and I really, really liked it. It didn't really sit too badly on my skin. It actually stayed fairly decent, which is good because typically I have a problem with foundations, and that's why I had the one I had for as long as I did, because it was perfect for my skin. It didn't leave my skin cakey or anything, but this one so far has done the trick. So I'm hopeful that it will hold up for the most of the day, but we shall see. This will really put it to the test to be able to see whether or not it's going to hold up in the heat and stuff. But again, it's not super hot out, so I think it should be fine. Okay, so foundation is done. Next, what I do is I take my other concealer, which is also the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer, but this is in my shade, which is shade 02, because again, I am fair as fuck. Basically, this is to help with some highlighting, so I will also use this to cover up any spots, so like this one right here. I also place it under my eyes for a little bit of some color correction, just a little bit to kind of fill in any darkness that is under my eyes. And then I also will go around my cheeks and my chin just to make sure any discoloration is not visible anymore. And then I'll do a little bit on my forehead, in my nose for some highlight, and a little on my chin. But that's the extent of the face that I'm going to be doing, because typically afterwards I would do my contour and I would do my blush, but because I am not really about being super glam today, I am going to avoid that. I'm going to actually even avoid doing my highlight today because I don't really want to do that. And also because it's going on 8 o'clock and I don't want to spend for freaking ever trying to fix my contour when it's messing up. This is not my typical eyeliner I've used, but I actually really like it. This is Essence's Super Last Eyeliner in Deep Black. It's an 18-hour eyeliner. It's waterproof, I'm pretty sure, and sweat-proof, so this is what I will use for my cat eye, basically. And then to do my water and tight line, I use this NYX Professional Makeup retractable eyeliner in black as well. This is just to do like my waterline and my tight lining, because I really, really like to do that. I like to really look the goth part, basically. So then the mascara I use, again, is not something I typically use, but I couldn't find the mascara that I typically use. So I'm using the NYX Lamoureux Individual and Curl Mascara. So because I am wearing all black today, I wanted to go with something a little different, something that wasn't black lipstick, because I easily could go with black lipstick, but I wanted to have a little bit of pop of color, considering that my shoes are pink and I wanted a little bit more color. So this is the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in Kitten Heels. I typically don't like cream lipsticks, but these ones I honestly think are really awesome. They do dry down quite a bit, and they do transfer, they don't transfer too badly in my opinion. I have a purple one that I really, really love. You guys may have seen me wear it at some point, but this is really, really awesome to use. There we go. All right, so that's on now. That does not look like too bad. It's a pretty nice color. It's typically a color that I would wear. I like wearing red a lot. I actually have a lipstick that is a buttercream, it's the NYX butter lipstick, basically, that I've had forever, that I love. That's pretty much this color. It's a little bit more glossier, but really, really nice. So this is not going to go away. It's going to have to be whatever. So the setting spray that I use is just an e.l.f. one. It's just the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. This just keeps my makeup on really, really well. I don't know how it does it, because it's supposed to be pretty not good, but somehow it does for me. So that's gonna basically be the end of my little stuff. Basically, I'm just gonna take this headband out and brush my hair, and then I have to get my ass in the car and go.
shit, Detroit, are you fucking ready? The song is called Devil's Night. Let's go. That's right. Up and down. Let's do this. Up, 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 up. Jump. Yeah! Detroit Rock City. You ready? We cracked your head in half and watched it funny, but we laugh. A car crash is no equivalent. Cross to the family, we get ignorant. Hoping that somebody can save me. You know more about myself. Fuck anyone else, I'm in a hole. And I can't breathe. Bad dreams when I'm sleeping. And I'm feeling so weak and I can't see them. Waking up with puddles and sweat and cotton mouth.
Downtown people don't
Know about these.
and people on the west side.
We too pissed.
Because these east side riders talking.
Hardcore
It's
shit.
nothing in the north side. Hey,
We legit like a motherfucker. Chilling with me, you gotta be.
cause we digging up brains and acting evil.
They're looking for a sequel.
Don't like something close to equal.
Your whack is turning the sequel, now get your middle
Everybody
fingers
say
up.
time, motherfucker, time, motherfucker, time.
Like down, motherfucker, down, motherfucker, down.
Time, motherfucker, time, motherfucker, time.
Let's go. Down, motherfucker, down, motherfucker, down.
I smoke too many cigarettes and get high too much.
He don't work enough, and shit is too rough.
And I can give a fuck less if the whole world blow up.
What game sign ninjas throw
Fed
up?
up, I keep my head up, so I let it drag.
Get up on the belt, so his pants sad.
Everybody seems to be a fag or a lesbian.
But what the fuck happened is where the question is.
President is prejudiced against.
You and me,
Then he taking half my money and he's
still in tax
and if you
free.
ask me, that's another smack in the face.
We need to burn the White House. And every judge to do a minimum of 20 lives.
They can dish it, they can take it, tell me that ain't right.
And every cop should be beat like a Rodney King.
Non-stop from the summer till it turned to spring.
I shove a squirrel in his mouth and a pit bull up his ass.
Kids don't get no class, they get their wigs
Hey,
straight.
die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die.
Die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die.
Die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die.
One more time. Die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die.
So it is about 7 o'clock right now in the evening and I am leaving Oakland. I'm walking back to my car to go home. So I really could have left probably by after like 4 o'clock today because I saw all the bands I wanted to see. I got to be able to meet Twisted, which was awesome. I got a picture with them and I got a jersey for Robert, but then I decided to just stay for a little while longer. And I watched another show with Teresa and her boyfriend and we had a good time. So I'm heading home now though because I'm tired. I don't have any other bands I want to see tonight and I just want to go home, take my makeup off and go to bed. Hi guys, it is Saturday after like 3:30 I think, and this thing has gotten even worse. I think it got kind of gouged out the other day. Not yesterday, but like the other day when I got popped. But so I wanted to end off the vlog here because obviously now the biannual Bibliothon is over. So to recap how the week went, I ended up finishing 3 books, completing 3 separate challenges. I read the group book, which was The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. I read Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco, which completed the challenge for reading a book off of somebody else's TBR. And I completed the book Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, which completed the challenge of reading 3 chapters, each a chapter, and picking a book from those selections. I am still currently working through my 4th book, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brashares. I don't remember what chapter or what challenge that was trying to complete, but it's not really a big deal now. So basically what I'm planning on doing is for the rest of the month leading up to the Booktubeathon, which starts on July 30th, I'm going to try and finish all of the books that I did not finish for the biannual Bibliothon, while also trying to complete other books that I had set myself for this month, which includes a couple different books. You guys can go check out my July TBR for that if you would like to. So overall this week I really enjoyed my time reading. I think that a lot of my time though was spent sleeping instead of reading, when I could have easily just sat and read some more, or finding more time to sit and read as opposed to just scrolling around on social media, which is typically my 2 biggest things that happen with my reading, is that I get distracted and I get tired. But I am proud of myself because I actually ended up completing more books this round than I did in the last round, because the last round I couldn't even complete 2 books. I finished 1 book, which was the group book, and then ended up only reading about half of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows because the week got away from me because of school and everything. So I'm excited to be able to say that I got all of my videos uploaded for the challenges, which I did not end up doing last time because last time one of my videos was not able to function correctly, so I ended up having to scrap it, which I'm very proud of. I'm proud that this time was a lot of improvement on my part. I feel like I've done a lot this time that I did not get to do last time. I loved all the videos that came out this round. I think that they ended up turning out way better than the last round, and that just shows improvement on my part in terms of my creativity and my filmmaking skills. I feel like a lot of them I've done really well filming them and really having a good idea as to what I wanted to do for each of them, so I'm very, very happy. But as you guys can tell, I'm very tired. With yesterday, I have now hit post-concert depression, which is very typical, especially after going to something like Warped Tour. So today I got up at like 9:30 this morning. I went to the store with my mom around 11:30, came home, and my parents went to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp. So my sister and I stayed here with Kaya, and I slept for like 2 hours because I'm so tired. Like, I was walking around Meyer today with my mom and I just wanted to do nothing but nap. But I feel better now. My sister's gone out to her friends, so I'm watching Miss Kaya now, who is currently going back to sleep now that she hears noise, because she doesn't like to sleep when there's not really any noise, but I guess for some reason she did well. I think just knowing that Tori and I were here, she doesn't usually like to sleep without any noise, because at least then she doesn't hear everyone moving all the time. But she's doing fine now. She just went back to sleep after I just took her outside, so I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys and let you guys know kind of what the whole thing was about. So I'm really proud of myself this week. I hope that all of you enjoyed doing the biannual Bibliothon as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you guys did enjoy this vlog, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.